My name is Noran Price. The reason for doing this show is enjoying conversation. I like to have different discussions on different topics with not just friends but professionally. And I think grown men talk just is just that. Not often you have just men sitting down having a conversation freely, openly, regardless of what they say that may rub some people the wrong way. I just like to have conversations. The funniest thing that has happened to me in radio? Wow. Funniest. That's such a wide relative term. I don't know if it would be considered funny. It's just some of the radio personalities that I work with, we have a friendship outside. But sometimes we're all on the radio at the same time. So the mic is open and we're talking just as friends. And it's hilarious because we're all idiots at some point in time. So it's lots of laughing, lots of carrying on. And the radio listeners actually like it because it sounds very bridging and talk, which is kind of what I want for this show. I want people to think that, yeah, them two are bridging. Not bosom buddies, not BFFs from 8 years old, no, but a two bridging and talk. That's what I want. Funniest thing in my social life. It wasn't funny, it was just embarrassing. Oh, it was so embarrassing. Oh God, it was so embarrassing. I went on this trip, group trip. It was a church trip. Girls on the trip. I want to impress the girls. So we're driving down to the venue and there's a trampoline on the grounds. I jump out to the bus like, I'm gonna go trampoline. I don't want it to bounce while the bus is going past. And I'm bouncing and rain fell in the morning. So it was wet. And I bounced. When I hit the trampoline, my feet went, and I was vertical as the bus passed. And I bounced off the trampoline and fell flat on the ground. Everybody in the bus just saw me go, hey, whap. Yeah, that was bad. I think I blacked out I lost 2 minutes of my life. It was very funny. Yeah, laugh it up. I'd laugh too. It hurt. And up to this day, my brothers tease me because they were there just before I hit the ground. For some reason, my man brain decided if I shout really loud, it might cushion the blow because I was completely horizontal. So all you heard was, pop. I just lay there for a while, collecting myself, watching my friends laugh after me. Yeah, that was the funniest thing that happened. If I had one wish for this show, it would be that people take it for what they hear, get the message regardless of the messenger. Because, we're human. Somebody could say, oh, I don't like how him look, or I don't like when he said that, and ignore the message. But sometimes the message is actually what you need to hear. So my wish is that regardless of what is said, regardless of how they feel about Lyndon or myself or anybody who comes on the show, that they get the message, that they understand what we're trying to say. And it's not necessarily you should do this or you'd be better if you do that, because we're not experts. But we have an opinion, and I think it might trigger something in somebody. One thing nobody knows about me, I have the ability to be completely shut off from every emotion and feeling going on. I don't know if you call it romantic, that's the thing. I was dating somebody wonderful girl, and for her gift, her birthday was coming up, and I decided, you know what? Let me get her something nice. So I actually got her a newspaper that was printed on the day she was born. And that was my gift to her to say, hey, this is your place in the world. This is what happened the day you came. And that was my gesture for her birthday. My plan for this show is to create interesting conversations that people can actually sit down and chew on, whether they're participating or just observing. I want people to actually hear topics that they might have in the back of their heads that they never talk about. But hearing two people speak about it, it kind of brings it out to them more. Provokes thought in them that might change their actions. And just promote more understanding between not just men and women, but people in general. All right, so if I could use one word to describe the 4 team members for Grown Men Talk. Lyndon, provocateur. Sonia, business, but there's something behind her that she's not always showing everybody. Yeah. A little mysterious. Intentionally mysterious. Kai, energy. Marriott, no nonsense, but absolutely troublesome when it happens. My thoughts about the first show, which is how to get over a breakup, is I've been through a very bad breakup, i.e. my marriage. And, it carried me through a range of emotions, all up and down the spectrum. And I think the defining moment was a very good friend of mine who took me out to have a drink because he knew I was not doing well. And he kept on telling me some things that I didn't want to hear, but I realized not liking how it sounded didn't make it any less true. And it made me realize that, maybe this should have happened. Maybe you weren't paying attention. Maybe just two people who necessarily weren't great together. Myriad of things. So I want this show to actually bring out some thoughts that people might have in the back of their heads that they've turned off because, no, it couldn't be that. Anything is possible. So I hope from this show, people feel a little bit better about the things that go through their heads in a breakup. If I had a chance to go back to one ex, I wouldn't. I'm where I am now because of the choices I made, and I think it's where I should be. Do I think about some of the exes? Absolutely. There are times when maybe I think, maybe one day, but that's in flight conversation in my head. But no, I do what I'm doing now. Okay. Do I consider myself romantic? I can be. I can be when I am motivated to be. But I believe in being nice to your partner. Not always, traditionally romantic, but it's still nice. But I can be romantic. Mm-hmm. The one lesson I've learned from being a divorcee is pay attention. Sometimes when relationships end, the first thing we'll ask is, what happened? The first thing I should have asked was, what did I miss? Because there are signs. There are always signs for everything. And I think what I learned is what you think you want is not necessarily what you can manage or is actually good for you. So it's good to actually think and consider and really look at the person you're with, both individually as them and how you are with them. So it's just pay attention. Have I loved again? Yes, absolutely. I've loved again. Why Lyndon? Lyndon is kind of a provocateur when he wants to be, but he's also a very straight talker. And I think he has a way of kind of disarming people while also really pressing buttons that people will react with their true behavior and intention and emotion. So I like the way he can just kind of pull something out of somebody, but at the same time, he can make somebody completely relaxed. So it's nice. The other topics I definitely want to cover are, typical man and woman, because let's face it, that's kind of where the thing is now. Everything is battle of the sexes, man versus woman. But I'd love to tackle them in a way that doesn't just sound like angry man talking about women and shit, and angry woman talking about men and shit. No. I'd love to talk about interpersonal relationships, both romantic and otherwise, because I think not enough people approach those strategically, and as such you have a lot of breakups. Just understanding each other. I'd also love to tackle things that affect me on the road, like, crime, violence. I want to talk to government people to say, hey, I'm Joe Citizen. What's going on here? Why is this like this? I'd love to talk to people who don't get to talk. When we're discussing it, Lyndon, I mentioned, people are living with diseases, sex workers. I've never spoken to anybody in that capacity, but I would love to see how that would turn out because everybody is somebody on some level. So I'm looking forward to topics that aren't just the normal fare. I'm looking for stuff that really people will go, wow, I've never thought about that. How would I respond to you calling me bougie? Hey, if that's what you think and not what you see, that's all right. As long as you show me the respect I show you, I'm good. Yeah, I'm bougie. I can't go around it. At this age and stage of my life, all right, cool. Every show is going to be, on Wednesday, every show that we're going to do is going to be my true opinion on something. Regardless of how I may come off to somebody, they're entitled to their opinion as I'm entitled to mine. So, thank you very much. I'm looking forward to this show too.